In August 2016, Washington, D.C.'s Hirshhorn Museum installed a work of art outdoors on its front plaza. Its artist, Jimmie Durham, once said that an artist who creates a work of art confesses more than he intended. As a result, he added, anyone can see more in a work of art than the artist does. An artist, Jimmie Durham implied, usually remembers how he made the work of art, but often does not fully know why. Like a worker who helps install an art piece and then moves on to the next job. This might explain my mother's warning when I was younger not to trust the title of a work of art as a starting point for understanding its meaning. The title may only indicate the artist's conscious motivation for creating the piece, but not the unconscious motivations that give it deeper meaning, a deeper meaning than the title may convey, a broader, universal meaning. Nevertheless, a title gives a viewer a frame of reference. Jimmie Durham, who for a time lived in Mexico, entitled the work installed outside the Hirshhorn, Still Life with Spirit and Xitle. The word spirit in the title refers to the Dodge Spirit, an automobile used by the Mexican police during the 1990s. The word Xitle refers to a volcano, the Xitle volcano outside Mexico City, from which the rock was taken and dropped when the piece was made in 2007. Jimmie Durham then painted a smiley face on it. The term still life brings to mind a distinct type of visual art that emerged in the 17th century. Before then, as the art historian Charles Sterling wrote in his book on the history of still lives, paintings did not portray man as ruling nature, but as just another divine creation that inhabited the earth. This religious outlook on life could have given way to the skeptical outlook, bordering on cynicism, of writers like Montaigne or Shakespeare, for whom the world's sound and fury signified nothing, arguably. But instead, it became man's destiny to discover nature's meaning, and the emergence of still life painting coincided with this new era of exploration and exploitation. Admittedly, some still life paintings express skepticism about man's new destination. But for the most part, still life paintings celebrated man's new drive to capture nature and dominate it, to consume its bounty, to extract its beauty. This anthropocentrism of still lives becomes ever more prominent in the 19th century as the objects give way to the artist's brushstrokes, and into the 20th century when the objects exist mostly to make us aware of the artist's way of representing them. Jimmie Durham's Still Life with Spirit and Xitle slams the brakes, so to speak, on the increasing anthropocentrism of still lives. Nature is crushing the Dodge Spirit, the symbol of culture, down to its chassis. In this still life, man no longer rules over nature. Unruly nature has caused a natural disaster. If mankind were to beg nature for no more disasters, promising to share the earth, fair and square, will its appeal be heard? The smiley face on the Xitle rock suggests that nature might empathize, or maybe not. Nature, now that it's on top, may have become just as narcissistic as mankind, caring mostly about being admired. already long accustomed to being marveled at for its beauty, nature may be too arrogant to care whether another species disappears from the earth, even a species like ours, capable of creative force, able to find meaning in life and death. Professor Sterling also wrote that an object represented in a still life has much more emotional force than the object had in nature, because the artist has separated it from its organic world and presented it inanimate, naked, blind, dependent on us to breathe feeling into it. But still life with spirit and Xitle puts this kind of still life out of business. Jimmie Durham did not plant the grass that's growing on the Xitle rock. The museum's visitors passing by are probably not even aware that the Dodge spirit is reflecting their movements. Still life with spirit and Xitle is a still life that's still living. It's made itself part of the natural landscape of the Hirshhorn's front plaza on its own terms. Outdoors, framed by the museum's protective concrete planters, still life with spirit and Xitle doesn't share the stage. Like most of nature's natural disasters, it steals the show.